I love fall. I love fall so much. I got up the other day.
Wait, are we starting already?
Well, now you just ruined it.
Oh. Let's be professionals.
This is the good life. Out in the sunshine, nothing but good times. This is the good life.
Hi.
Oh,
How are you?
full of energy start.
Yes.
Hey,
Hey.
how's it going?
Good. Is Nathan here? I can't see.
No, he's upstairs.
All right. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
For the third
How are
time.
you? Okay, here we go. We are on and we are ready to rock.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Jaysin,
I'm Hilda.
and together we are Eo7 Media, and this is
Coffee and Cameras. Clink. Yeah.
We're so far away
I
today.
know.
Usually we're like right across the table from each other.
Yes.
Why are we doing this? Why are we sitting so far away today?
Because you made me use the professional mics because the sound was really bad last time,
Yeah,
and
it
you
threw me
were
for a loop.
annoyed.
Yeah, a little
because
bit.
you don't like fixing sound.
The edit took a lot longer than normal, so I wanted to fix this. So we're gonna get like little tables off to the side over here and become more professional, Hilda.
I don't know if it's possible to be more professional because
I'm gonna. You look so comfortable. So we are not doing coffee cups today because we are fearing that we might accidentally touch something, break something, and then pour it all over us. So we are
Yes.
doing our cans of
these
tea.
mics are held on with cardboard and prayer.
And a lot of hope and dream.
Yay!
If there was a tape company, like a Scotch tape, like a
Yeah.
translucent tape,
Yeah.
that called Held Together with a Hope and a Prayer, I would buy that. That's a great marketing
Wow.
idea.
There you go.
So what have you been up to? What's been going on?
Why you always ask me? I
Because
can't-
you never ask me.
Okay. Hey, Jaysin, what's been going on with you?
It was my wife's birthday, actually today.
Oh,
but for the
happy
week,
birthday, Andy!
Happy birthday, Andy. And if you remember one of our previous episodes where she got me my birthday presents and she knocked it out of the park
Yeah.
and it like made me cry. And
Yeah.
I really wanted to do something specifically for her
Mm-hmm.
this year. And what I did was we planned a apple picking extravaganza. We called it the Apple Palooza. And I made a map going up through Michigan, stopping at multiple different orchards to pick apples. She's like, that's like her favorite thing is apple picking.
That's so sweet.
So we picked a bunch of different apples. We picked brand new apples that we've never heard of. And she's like an apple connoisseur, so she knows all about like the newest apples coming out and things like that.
I didn't know that there was new apples coming out.
Tons of you've heard of like Fuji, Red Delicious.
But that's old news.
That's old news.
What's new in the apple field?
So every year or a couple years, the University of Minnesota comes out with a new type of apple, a new breed of apple.
Wow.
And basically they fuse you know what cross-pollination is. It's very similar to that, but you cross the roots together and like you graft different apple types to different apple types on the roots and then they grow up together. So her favorite apple is called the Sweet Tango and it's really crispy, it's really juicy, and it's really sweet. And once you've had that, like if you've ever had apple crisp, you're like, or not apple crisp, honey crisp.
Honey crisp. Yeah.
You eat that and you're like, oh, this is really good. But once you had Sweet Tango, it's like, oh, honey crisp is garbage.
No way.
It tastes like trash. It tastes like really mealy and really nasty.
Wow.
So Sweet Tango is our way. And then we found out on our trip, at one of the orchards that a new apple was out called Snow. I think it was called Snowberry. That's obviously not true. Jaysin, if you're in editing, put it right here. But we tried it and it was so delicious. And when you bite into it, it's like pure white
Wow.
on the inside. It's so good. So we got a lot of those.
Sounds delicious.
And then we went to wineries and I got drunk to go apple picking some more.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, it was fun. And I learned the deliciousness of chocolate wine, which sounds disgusting. And I got it on a whim just to be like, haha, chocolate wine.
Yeah.
But holy crap, is it delicious. It's like peppermint chocolate milk, and it is delightful. So I bought a bottle, and it is chilling up in my fridge right now.
I want to try it when you open it.
Absolutely.
Because
I
that
will
sounds
definitely,
amazing.
I'll open it on a day when we can all share it, because I don't think I can do it all together.
If this company makes you a wine drinker, I'm going to send them a thank you card.
What have you been up to?
just a lot of editing and, trying to produce content like we're supposed to and taking notes and educating myself and trying to stay awake and all the fun things.
All the fun things?
Yeah.
You bring up a good point that I do want to talk about.
What?
We're constantly educating ourselves, and then we come together and we educate each other. And the thing I like is like there's so many things in marketing in general that are just like they've been done for years and years and years and years because they work.
Yes.
Think of it like a movie trope, right? Like hero gets the sword, saves the day, gets the girl kind of thing.
Yes.
It's like the reason you keep seeing that over and over and over is because that trope works.
Yeah. People like it.
People like it, whether they like it or not. If they're like, I don't like this, but they still will go spend the money.
Yeah.
And that's why it works, because you're spending the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that works in marketing too. And you've been learning a lot of cool stuff lately.
Yes.
What you came over this morning and started
What
talking
the heck was
about
I
something.
talking about? Refresh my memory.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, was it the Google one, or are we?
What was the Google one?
That people are not using their Google addresses, they're not claiming it, or was it?
Yes, that
one
was exactly it.
Okay,
because there was a couple other things that I was leaning towards, but that I totally forgot that you mentioned that. Let's talk about that, because I think that's.
You want to talk about that?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay. I was going to State Farm to pay a bill, and each State Farm is independently owned. So,
is it like a franchisee?
It's a franchisee, yeah. So this woman has her name on the store, so I went to drop off a check. And first I Googled to see what their hours were. And it actually, Google says, claim this page if you're the owner. So I'm like, oh, this is not good because the page hasn't been claimed. So I said, okay, well, I Googled other State Farms around there, and all their hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, regular business hours. So I'm like, I will show up at noon on a Monday. They're going to be open. Well, they weren't open on a Monday. It was closed? It was completely closed. And there was a really, really old printed out sign that says Monday's closed, Tuesday 1 to 4. So it has these really odd hours that they just made up. So yeah,
it seems like a side hustle more than a business.
Exactly. So it gave a very unprofessional appearance, and I've never worked with this woman before. This is like my first time interacting with her company.
Yeah. So
I was like not impressed at all. And the Google should have been like a big clue to me.
Big red flag.
Yes, that I'm like, they're not really on the ball, So then I had to go back again on a different day. And once I took a photo of the hours, and then I went back. And then it felt dingy. And so it's obviously that I think State Farm makes them maintain a storefront, but they are barely staffed. And everything is old and faded, like nothing's been updated since they opened 30 years ago. That's how it felt walking in. So it was very like, yeah, we don't need your business because we have enough that we built up through 30 years. So it was like, it kind of left me kind of weird, so first impressions matter even on Google,
I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So question for you. You said that State Farm probably makes them maintain a storefront. Would you trust a business if it was like a home business, if like someone had like an office in their home and it was clean and wonderful?
If it was more professional,
yes. Would you trust that over a storefront? That storefront that was like hardly updated, or do you think the storefront matters?
The storefront matters, I think, for people that are a little bit older than us. I think them seeing the storefront walking by is more important. I think now, as a consumer in this day and age, I would look at Google and it would be like, whatever the address is, and they would probably have a picture of their house.
Right.
And then they would have more photos and they would have reviews. That's what would make me trust them, is looking at, see who the owner is, see if there's a photo, if it's a house or a storefront, how many reviews they have, and how often they update the page. So
that's a good point.
It gives me more of a reassurance and security that this person's going to take care of my business if their Google page is updated and fresh photos and interaction with clients and stuff like that, versus just a storefront just because they've been there 30 years.
Now, when you say interaction with interaction with customers, do you want to see that in like text form, like through the reviews? Or is this something more visual? Because you and I are both visual. You're the photographer, I'm the videographer.
Yeah.
Do you want to see that in actual visual form?
I would prefer both, but I think mostly what I'm looking for is the business replying to the reviews.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, it was so nice meeting Jaysin. He takes good, pictures
Yeah.
or video or whatever. And then you would be like, oh, thank you so much. And because I look at reviews all the time, and I love it when businesses reply even to negative ones.
Oh, I actually like it more when they reply.
Yeah,
to
because
negative
I'm
ones.
like, because if you look at like 95% is positive and one negative one, and the guy managed to say
yes.
something like, oh, we're sorry you're disappointed. Let us, so
let us know how we can help you.
That means a great deal.
Agreed, because I think any person with an ounce of intelligence out there knows that you're not going to please everyone, and then that one negative review might not be about your business at all.
No.
It just could be like that person had a really bad day.
Yeah. The first negative review I ever got on Yelp was year one when I started my
Was it
business,
year
and I
one?
freaked out. Yeah. And you know why they gave me a negative review? Because at the bottom of my signature, it says, thank you, something to the effect of, thank you for supporting my photography. Please forward this email to fun people you might know. So it was just like a way of like letting them know, like, hey, don't forget, this is what I do.
And it's
Recommend
also
me.
on brand for you because you're all about the fun, the
Right.
positivity, and
Right.
the experience.
So that guy, he wanted to hire me for a certain, I think it was a family something, and I either wasn't available or something wasn't meshing. I think it was the date. And then he jumps on Yelp and he's like, well, I understand that she didn't have time to do my photos, but why is she asking for a recommendation? So my signature line, like he took that as like, I'm asking for a personal recommendation from him. I'm like, no, dude, this is like all it's every email.
That's
so.
like, and that's also business. That's also small businesses is, small businesses know that we don't have the funds to be advertising on TV all the time.
Right.
So the best type of business or marketing for us is please tell your friends.
Yes. And remind them by having it at the bottom of your email signature. I thought that was a great idea.
I thought it was, I still do. I think it's a great idea. I think one bad apple does not spoil the bunch. But
I know, but after you get your first bad review on
does
Yelp,
make you
that
feel
kind of
bad.
just, And then, of course, Yelp starts calling and trying to sell me ways to get it off of there. It was,
I think we've talked about this briefly before, but I do want to go down this rabbit hole because I think it needs to be talked about. Yelp is a really shady business. I have an experience. You have an experience. I would love to go down this rabbit hole really quick. I don't want to like dwell on it too much.
Sure. I think I did sign up with them briefly soon after that because I freaked out and I called Yelp and I said, hey, listen, this is what happened. They're not an actual customer. And they sold me like a 6-month package. It was ridiculous pricing. Granted, I think I got a few leads. It wasn't anything. I didn't feel like I was wasting money at that point because this was over 15 years ago, so it was a lot cheaper.
Right.
However, the phone calls and the annoying emails and the nonstop harassment that
From
I got
Yelp.
from Yelp
Yeah.
after that just turned me off in such a way that I think I blocked everything Yelp. I don't know how they finally stopped calling, but they did.
Oh, they did? Good for
10
you.
years it took me to get rid of them. 10 years. So I hate them with a passion. How do you feel?
So actually, early on in my career, as any business out there knows that reviews are vital to the business. So getting a negative review as at any point for any reason is scary. Like you said, you were worried. You want to do this right. So I got a fake review, and by that I mean they wrote a review for me for my business on Yelp for a service that we never offered and a person that I never talked to. They wrote a review, and it's a 1-star. Great. They made us a great website. And I was like, I don't make websites. I don't know the first thing about making websites.
Why would people do that?
And not only was it a positive worded review, but then I got a 1-star. So, well, I have a theory.
Oh, I see where you're going
have a
with
theory.
this. Yep.
So I contacted Yelp. And of course, being the person I am, I didn't call. I emailed. And you get pushed around a lot, and you finally get the phone call. And I'm like saying, like, this is a fake review. It's whatever it is. Like, I've tried contacting the person. I wrote back to it. I responded, and I responded very well. I was like, I'm sorry you feel this way, but you got the wrong business.
Right.
This is not the same business. we don't make websites. And I linked our website, and on our website, at that point, it was just video. So it's like, that's all we do.
Yeah.
So Yelp said, we will take it off if you subscribe to a year of advertising.
That's how they sold me now that you mention it.
And I was like, a year? It was something like $3,800, or it was a lot of money, way more money than I had to spend that early in my career. But I kept thinking about it. I'm like, well, this one bad review, that's going to turn people away. They're going to look at it and go, they got a 1 star. But then I started thinking, like, maybe someone will be smart enough to go, website. Well, I don't want their website. I want their video. Everyone else here says it's great video. So let's hopefully look past that. So I thought it was really freaking shady about Yelp. And I said no. I turned them down. And they would call no less than 5 times a week. And I had a tally system going for a long time for like how often they would call or write emails. But like the calling is an instant, you're not going to get my business. I have no interest in talking to you. If you email me, I might communicate with you. But they just kept calling and calling and calling. You're right, for years. And it didn't dawn on me until many years later that, they probably wrote that review.
Yep.
And I have a real negative feeling to Yelp because of that and this whole bad experience. But then I start hearing stories from other people.
Yep.
And other people have these exact same things. And I think most people don't want to publicly say it because then you're talking bad about a giant business. And you don't want to talk bad about a business that handles reviews because that could be negative to you. But if that's happening, and it's time and time again proven that it's happening on other types of sites.
Yep.
Where they're sending fake leads and fake emails and things like that. And I don't know if it's been proven 100%, but enough people talk about it where they're getting them, and I've gotten these leads.
Oh, there's entire chat rooms dedicated in the photography forums to Yelp and their shady business and how to get rid of it.
It makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I think some people are actually suing them too. So because that's illegal. I'm sorry. There's got to be like pay, for it's like, can you prove that it's them writing the bad review? No, probably not.
Probably not, because they're probably covering their tracks well enough.
But obviously it's working because they're, they just keep growing and they're still doing their shady business. So
it's making, So those of you out there who rely on Yelp, maybe don't. I haven't had any issues with Google.
Yeah.
Google reviews.
Just a little sidebar. If Yelp is working for you, by all means, keep doing
Absolutely.
it. Because Alicia from Delish Cakes, she advertises and she does it for different reasons, but she seems okay and happy with that.
And
so
that's what matters.
Yes, it's not negative all the time. This
I'm not going to yuck someone's yum.
Yes,
I had a negative experience. You had a negative experience.
But Google is our preferred review site. Would you like to talk about why that is?
Very briefly, because I do want to get into today's topic, but I think Google is a fantastic review site for multiple reasons. One, you're probably using Google to Google things.
Yes.
It's a verb. A brand has become a verb. You're probably using that brand's service to do that verb.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I'm not looking up online. I'm Googling.
Yes.
So if that alone right there, from a company that is, granted, are they a great company? I don't know. I don't know the intrinsic values of their culture and things, but everything points to, hopefully. But the review service is really clean. You don't have to go to a separate page to see the reviews. Literally, you type in the brands or companies, and it's right there on the right side of your page. You don't have to go off site, which always makes me feel a little leery. If I have to learn more about another company to go to another site, I feel kind of ill at ease about that. So the reviews are right there. It's really easy to scan through. It's very easy to review. I don't have to sign up for anything.
Right.
They're up to date. It's the communication's there.
I like it when you type in a specific business, like what business you're looking to frequent. Like I was with State Farm, and I typed in State Farm and the woman, and even though they're sponsored ads in the results, the reviews on the side, once you have it claimed, then it's your own, you're keeping up with the reviews and everything. That shows up no matter what the sponsored ads are. So I love that.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
When you type in their name and
type in Eo7 Media,
yeah, Eo7 Media or Eo7 Media Reviews, it will show you that.
even though there's sponsored stuff at the top.
It'll
which,
be on the side.
By the way, I go out of my way to not do the sponsored things.
100%.
Like if I'm looking for Home Depot and the Home Depot website comes up first, but it says sponsored, I will scroll down.
I thought I was
until
the
it doesn't
only
say
one.
sponsored.
I feel like I'm going to waste their money since I'm going to the Home Depot website anyway, so that's why I don't want to click on it.
You're really sweet. I feel like I'm more nefarious. I don't want to give those clicks to those companies that are spending that much money to out another company. It's like, oh,
even
you're
if they're going to go to their website?
yeah. I just I don't feel it's. I don't feel it's a good practice, even though we work in that field.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't trust that kind of advertising.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for B&H, B&H photo,
Yeah.
and I type in B&H, and another company comes up, that means they're paying
Yep.
Google to say if someone types in
Yes.
B&H, put ours up there
Yes.
too. That's kind of shady.
Yes.
At least I think.
And
so.
it'll go above B&H if they paid more than
If they paid
B&H.
more, which to me, well, if you're willing to pay more to be above someone else, I don't want to do business with you. I want to do business with you because of who you are, the culture that you represent,
Right.
about your brand, about your ethics, about your goals, about your mission, and then about your product. Like
True.
I will shop with a company that the products are, okay, if the business is good communication, if it's good business practices.
Yep.
I buy, like we talked last time, I buy, boutique Blu-ray movies, and I will shop at some businesses. I haven't gotten anything from them yet, and I've been ordering since June. I have like 5 orders with this one company since June. They're all on back order because they're all pre-orders,
Oh,
and I'm
gotcha.
okay with that.
Gotcha.
But I'm constantly watching their communication. They send me an email once a week. They're like, "Hey, just wanted to keep you like excited about this movie coming out in 2 months." It's like, that's cool. And I'm going to get like
Okay.
8 more emails. But
Okay.
I like that kind of business.
That feels
care.
more human.
It feels more human.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And that
totally
appeals to me
understand.
more. Yeah.
I totally understand. Yeah.
So let's talk about some business practices, some marketing practices.
Okay. Such
that
as?
we really love.
Refresh my memory because I obviously didn't have enough caffeine today. I all the caffeine I had, I just left it all upstairs in the kitchen when we had that initial conversation. And then I'm like, oh yeah, what are we supposed to talk about? So what are we supposed
So let's talk about oh my God.
Reciprocity?
Yes.
Jason, what is reciprocity for those of us who don't know?
Let's discuss reciprocity. And here's where I'm going to put up a screen to make it look like I'm not reading what it is. The principle of reciprocity suggests that when you provide value or favors to others, they feel compelled to reciprocate. Offering free samples, exclusive content, or personalized discounts can trigger the reciprocity effect and encourage customers to engage with your brand.
So how would a small business owner put this to good use?
So let's say a small business owner is, let's say a lotion company.
Okay.
They make their own lotion. They make their own beauty products and whatever. They have lotion and they go to, let's say they're out and about, like the owner is out and about and they just have products on them all the time, as any business owner usually does. You have
Right.
your business card or
Yep.
whatever with you at all times.
Yep.
And they meet someone at a bar and they're chatting it up, just talking, and she hands her a lotion. She says, "Check out my lotion." That's it.
Okay.
You have to stop it there. Because if you say, here's my lotion, talk about it on your Instagram, tell your friends, share it, and if they like it, they can buy some. You have just lost me because you have just done a sales pitch, and it's
Yep.
annoying,
Yep.
and it's grating,
Yep.
and it's insulting.
Yeah.
So
Instead, it should be like, hey, by the way, did you know that I make lotions?
Yeah,
Would
right.
you like to try it?
Yeah,
It should be, that's it.
there it is.
That's what you're saying. Like, that should be the end of it.
Yeah.
Because if it's a good enough lotion, it'll sell itself. Hopefully, you have all the information on the lotion so they
Bingo.
know how to contact you.
bingo.
Gotcha.
So not only should the lotion be great, but the marketing principle behind this of reciprocity. I think every time I'm going to do this, I'm going to like have it like glow on the screen, like reciprocity.
Stop creating extra work
I
for
know,
yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
So reciprocity is the idea, like, do you remember, like, when you're at Christmas or like any kind of gift giving
Yeah.
holiday and someone gives you a gift and you didn't mean to spite them by not getting
Yeah.
them a gift,
Yeah.
but it's like, well, now I feel obligated to get you a gift.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad, like it kind of is a bad feeling, but it's not like evil. It's not like, well, I have to get you a gift. It's like, I want to get you something. I want to do something.
Yeah.
Like, so you go make them something or send them something nice, whatever.
So I think basically another way of saying it is that it's just like, because that's an actual scientific thing that you can prove. Reciprocity
Right.
works for reasons X and Y.
Right.
But if you don't want to look at it like that, you could look at it just like, be a decent human being. Like reciprocity could also like
that's where I want to go with
you
it.
do a lot, and I just want to like shout out to you on that. Like you help so many people selflessly, not
savagely.
Selflessly, not savagely. Like somebody is looking for product X and you know something about it. You will like type up an entire email with links and whatever, helping people you never even met just because you have the knowledge and you're willing to share. So I think that kind of reciprocity can also work just by
100%.
helping another person who might be working at company Y. So like reciprocity, not directly, but just being a good human being and sharing your gifts, your value, your feedback, whatever, because everybody has something to offer.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be a thing.
It doesn't have to be a product or
just be a good human being and keep the conversation open and be helpful, and that'll come back to you. So
you nailed it right on the head, and that's where I was going to go with it. I'm long-winded, Hilda. I need to get over that. Be a human. Be a good person. It's not about what can I get out of this. It's what can I do here.
Because if you're doing it for selfish reasons, it's never going to work. I mean, it might work initially, but in the end, like you're going to get the negative vibes back.
It's going to be negative. That's why I always said, going into business, I'm not going into business to make money. If I was doing that, I would have worked for someone else, and that's all my focus would be. My goal in business is to help legitimately. I mean, if doing this kind of stuff, like this is fun for me, but legitimately, I'm really hoping someone gets a nugget of information out of this and helps. I had someone write me about a month ago, and they were like, hey, blah, 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 sent me your information. What do you think about this camera, this lighting, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, cool. Here's my list of recommendations. Let's talk about this. And I stopped watching a movie to write them back.
Oh my God, you're insane.
And then he wrote back, he goes, oh my God, you're like knowing Google. And I was like, that was a pretty cool compliment.
Knowing you is like knowing Google. That's awesome. Yeah. We should get you a t-shirt that says that. Hey, Google, are you listening? You got any free t-shirts for Jaysin? He's a double X.
Double X. Double X sexy. Yeah, that kind of went off the rails really quick. But yeah, the reciprocity is, I don't think about it when I'm doing it. I just, I don't think about the reciprocity. I don't think about what's this going to get out of me? I think it's because the way I was raised, my dad always said, if a neighbor needs something, you just do it. You don't ask for them. Like our neighbor's tree fell in their backyard one day. It was a bad storm. The tree fell down. And before they even went out there, we were like, hey, do you need help chopping up your tree? And before they went out there to actually look at it, we were out there sawing it up and making firewood for them.
Holy cow.
And they came out with a pie. They were so nice. Reciprocity. And we were like, it's just the right thing to do.
And what I learned from you is that you're very generous, not only to friends, you're also generous to competition. Competition, like if you choose to look at it that way or not, like
which I don't. I don't like that mentality.
I know. And when I first was, starting my business, I didn't have any mentors or anything. I was just kind of winging it. And I was like very protective of certain things. Like, if I took a special class, I'm not going to brag about it to other photographers. That's my little secret.
That's your secret.
Yeah. Or if I had found a special location, I'm still protective of my location.
You do have some pretty cool locations.
But I wasn't like, going on the chat boards and talking about it, but once I started hanging with you, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to send business to my friend Nick or this and what. I'm like, but what are you getting? And like, no, he's my homie. I'm just going to, give him all the info I have. And I'm like, but what about, being selfish? So you taught me that it's like, it'll come. Yes. You're a very good example as a human being, not just a business owner.
I did not go into this.
I know.
Looking for this kind of stuff.
I know. That's why you're blushing right now.
It's a little awkward.
But that you're a great example. So that's and I found that I lost absolutely nothing by being open and sharing and giving, and I've actually made more friends and more connections with that. So thank you.
Yeah, I would rather make a friend out of a situation than a customer.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Because I mean and what I found is that once I started being unselfish and like other photographers were sending me business, I'm like, we can't all like cover everything. That's
it. Is no one business can cover everything. And I'm going to tell you a secret, guys. If there's a business out there that can cover everything that comes at them, chances are they're probably not the company you want to do business with.
Yeah.
That means they're farming it out to way too many other people.
True.
The wedding industry is absolutely renowned for this. If a company glows about doing 50 to 100 weddings per weekend, there's a problem.
Yep. Because we see that company in our little private chats.
Yep.
Begging for somebody to come and cover like 2 hours from now because so-and-so was sick.
For next to no pay, next to no credibility, no respect. Yeah, there's a lot of negativity with that kind of mindset. But the reciprocity is just give the work to other people. I can't take it. I'll give it to
Because I've
someone
never
else.
seen that big company on the chat saying, oh, we have all these extra dates. Who can take it? No, that's why nobody was like jumping on board and helping them because we know how they work. So, no, thank you.
And it comes, the opposite is very true. If you're going to be a dick, like you're going to be treated like it.
Don't be a dick.
That's Will Wheaton said it best. Will Wheaton was he's an actor.
Yeah.
Turned into the Omega King of Nerds, and he's one of my heroes. His life motto is "Don't be a dick," and I love that. I live by that. I try to live by that.
Yes.
Except for when
you have to be a dick.
so I have to be.
Well, I can still be bitchy sometimes, though, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because if you're gonna cut that part of me off, it's never gonna work.
It's not even worth it. Why are we here?
I know.
So what are some like cool examples of reciprocity that someone can do like today? Like any business out there?
I think just offering like value, to their potential client. Like, for example, using one of the girls that we met through the shoot that we did last time, venting nails. Good job, venting nails.
Oh, venting nails. Quick shout out.
Yeah.
Social media. On check.
Yeah,
done.
we're very impressed.
Yeah.
For example, they were, we told them that, you should maybe do X and Y, but also offer value to your potential clients. Right. So offering value is reciprocity by saying like, hey, if you want to do your nails at home, this is the polish you use, or this is how you put on the special paint or whatever. I don't know about nail stuff, but she's offering basically free lessons and how to her clients who don't have the time or the money to come in, this week or this month, and they just want to do it at home, stuff like that.
I think it's all about value, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. But if this is your first episode, you're about to hear it. Value is the number one thing you can do for marketing anything, no matter what your business is. If you're a car repair shop, if you're a B2B, consulting firm, if you're manufacturing, like engineering, it doesn't matter. What can you put out there of value to people without expecting them to say, okay, here's money?
Yeah.
You have to just put it out there. And that's the new form of marketing. That's where we're at right now, is you have to give.
Yes. And was it 80? Is it 80-20? Is that the rule?
It's called the 80-20 rule, and it's 80% value to 20% advertising.
Right.
And what that means is 80% of anything you put out there, content-wise, posts, social media, website content, blah, 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 blah.
Website
all this
too?
Stuff. Well, okay, website's different because that's like your home base.
Yeah.
And that's
but
where you
social,
learn. Yeah, social and advertising.
When people go on social, they want to be entertained and they want to be not sold to. So that's why right. Isn't that social media that's kind of pushing businesses in this direction?
It's all marketing right now is social media.
True.
Because the key word in there is social. If you're not advertising or marketing is the right
yes.
terminology, not advertising. If you're not marketing on social media, you're missing 90%, 95% of your population, of your potential clientele. It's absurd.
true.
Like rule number one, if you're a business, you need to be on social media. Depending on what social media that is different for what
different
you need.
businesses, yeah.
But you need to be on there. People who say, oh, well, I don't have time for that. It's like, then you're not going to grow.
Yep.
That's fine if you want to do the status quo. But if you want to grow, if you want to get bigger, if you want to bring on more people to help you,
Yep.
you need to show the world what you can do in order to do so.
Yep. And also show your personality behind the brand. That's
Yes.
key. Yeah. I'm finally getting comfortable with that.
I mean, it does take time.
It's very painful.
And for someone as outgoing as you are, I think it's kind of funny how long it takes for you to do this.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. I think the value has to be there because I mean, how many times have I gone to a web page or a social media page, like an Instagram page of a company that just advertises what they sell?
Yeah.
And I look at a little bit and I'm like, screw this. Now, granted, I don't spend too much time on Instagram. I spend a lot more time on YouTube. But I'll say the exact same thing. If all I see on your YouTube page is what can we offer your business? Sell, sell, sell,
Yes.
sell, sell. I don't care.
Yes.
And I will not watch your stuff.
Yeah, even if the topic is interesting and I click on and the first thing they talk about is, it's one thing to say we're sponsored by X and then get into the
Different,
story.
very different.
But to take 30 seconds out of my day to listen to your sales pitch, I'm out
Yeah,
of there.
yeah.
I'm sorry. No.
So even like the brands that I like last week I talked about Vinegar Syndrome. I love Vinegar Syndrome. They're a great company that restores old films that
Right.
have never come out. Their YouTube page for a long time was just advertising. It was just like, look at this movie you can buy. I'm like, I don't care. Why would I subscribe to this? I'm
Wait.
not going to be a part of this.
What did they change?
So they started adding value. They have their archivist who, the person who archives the films in a very clean manner, and he explains what the different types of film degradation are, but he does it in a very humorous way. So it's actually entertaining to watch and you're learning at the same time.
Gotcha.
And now I feel more indebted that I want to spend more money with this company.
There you go.
I love that type of information. There are amazing YouTube channels out there that just give and give and give. And then they say, hey, if you're interested in this, check out our course, check out my book, check
Yep.
out this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
Bad Movie Bible is another great example of that, where he'll make a 45-minute video of nothing but entertainment and joy and laughter.
Yeah.
And then the last 30 seconds is like, hey, if you're interested in this, I also made a book.
What's that guy's name? I think Roger watches it.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
I'm bad about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
'Cause
I remember the channel.
What's the name of the channel?
Bad Movie Bible.
Oh, that's literally
Yeah.
the name of the channel.
And
okay.
if I remember the channel, I'm coming back.
Gotcha.
That's where I
key.
think shorts are failing. I think there's a study going on right now with shorts, reels, and TikToks.
Okay.
Is that the way people consume these extreme short form content is not good for advertising mostly.
Okay.
Sometimes it's wonderful, and if something hits and you're making enough of them and doing them all the time,
Right.
then they're constantly in the feed. But the problem is that people will watch something for 3 or 4 seconds and go, nope, nope, nope. I just read this awesome argument on a subreddit. I'm a teacher, and I am on a subreddit called Professors.
Okay.
And it's all like college teachers. And this one person was saying, or this one teacher was saying, I'm showing a video to my class and everyone in the class is bored out of their skull. The video was 7 minutes long.
Wow.
And that's mind-numbing to me.
Yeah.
That you have to be that entertaining to hold that kind of attention. No, you shouldn't have to. And the issue with that is if you're trying to market your business through TikTok and short form content, it's great if you constantly do it.
Yep.
You need a lot of it to do it.
Yep.
But the easeability for someone to watch a video and go, click,
Yep.
swipe,
Yep.
no. And then they'll go to your page and watch like 3 or 4 of them. Take a poll, like in your mental capacity, because how many people are actually going to do this?
Yeah.
But there was a study that came out and said that it takes 60 videos for someone to go, I remember this channel.
Wow.
I remember this brand.
Wow.
I will go check them out again, kind of thing.
You're right. I don't remember any brands that I watch, but what's interesting about the shorts is that I started remembering the faces, the ones that come up and tell me something that I'm interested in over and over again. So after...
Can you look them up?
What I did is the next time I made a mental note, I said, I really like this guy. Next time he comes back, I'm going to click on his name, because you can click on the name, then go to the channel. And that's how I started subscribing.
Okay.
Little thing I heard from Gary Vee just on the way here today. He was talking to a couple of women who I forget what they sell, but it doesn't matter. But they're on TikTok and YouTube and doing all the things. And they were asking for advice, and they said that we only had one video or one TikTok or whatever hit over 1 million, and they're like, we don't know what to do or how that happened. And they were asking for, he said, what you do is you take that, the thing that hit, and you make it into a commercial. That's all you have to do. You just have to kind of change stuff around. You already have a hit. You have millions of people that liked it. Just put it somewhere else that it's not supposed to be, and there you go. Success.
Yes. So that's something, that's called the ABC testing, or A/B testing, right? So if you make a Facebook post with one image, same text, and you do the exact same text with an image B,
right,
and one gets more views, you use that one for
your
more
ad?
For more ads.
Okay.
You pay more money for the one that actually hits more. What Gary Vee just said is the exact same thing. They basically did A/B testing with hundreds of videos. This one hit so well.
Yep.
Perfect. You found your formula.
Yep.
The rule of YouTube, and something that we are not doing well, because the most viewed videos on my channel are video how-tos about editing. And I'm not making them as much as I should be, because I'm not looking for the views. I'm looking for creating stuff to help people.
And stuff that's interesting to you.
And stuff that's interesting to me. That's like I love editing, but I can talk about marketing all day. If people want to come over and sit here, you will get a much longer presentation.
You don't have that kind of time, trust me.
I mean, well, just like when we meet up with clients, and it's like, well, we have an hour. Let me give you 3 hours of marketing advice.
I definitely need to...
I know, I got to bring that in. But so once you find that formula, then do it again, because it's not so much of a formula, because formula sounds bad. It sounds like you're making a cookie cutter or something. It's like, no, people like cookie cutters because they found the one thing that they really like. Now make more of those.
I mean, and it's all going to be hit and miss, because they can't copy it exactly.
No,
so you
and
just,
nor should you.
And I guess the point Gary was trying to make, that keep doing a lot more of this, because then you're going to, keep having the hits. And that's something that I'm also personally struggling with, is coming up with content all the time. It's exhausting. And
it is.
And
it is.
I'll be the first one to admit it, that it's another job. But it's like, if you kind of just break it down to smaller chunks and be like, I'm going to dedicate this whole day and I'm going to do like 100 photos or, 30 shorts or whatever, then you could just relax the rest of the time,
That's true.
So it doesn't have to be like every day, because that's my mentality. I'm like, here we go again every day. But it's like, just put a day aside, do it, and then you're done. Then you don't have to think about it. You're done. You know?
Do you want to talk about what we're going to do literally right after we record this?
Do you want to?
I mean, absolutely.
Okay. Basically, what we're going to do is record shorts between 30 and 30 seconds to 1 minute on marketing tips and things we find interesting about marketing psychology, and how to promote your business for free and how to do it more efficiently. So all the things that we've been soaking up, like all these little gems that are rolling around in the back of our heads, we're actually going to put it out there.
In very short form content.
Yes.
And to me, the problem with that is, it's interesting once you dive into it and say, like, here's what it is. Tell me a story about how it works. Now break down the actual theory. You can't do that in 30 seconds. That's a conversation.
Yep. That's why we have this show.
That's why we have this show. Thank you for watching this, because this allows me a platform to actually discuss this stuff.
Yes, in length and detail.
So I'm actually excited to do these. We tried it once before, and I think you and I were so rushed to try and do it. They felt rushed.
Yes.
They felt ham-fisted.
And not to mention, I was not comfortable in front of the camera at that point at all.
You're way better now.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
And to anybody who has a hard time getting on video. Trust me, I feel your pain. Just keep practicing, keep doing it. You'll actually get used to the sound of your voice. It won't be so annoying.
That's the thing that everyone says. It's like, oh, I hate the way my voice sounds. It's like, no,
They're
fine.
not used to it. I know. And what F with my head is that this is what my voice sounds like to other people.
100%. No one else hears your voice the way you do.
Yes.
It's called a bass trap. Your skull is reverberating your voice a certain way, and here's the other theory aspect. By the time your voice gets out and wraps around your head, it's like a millisecond or less of a millisecond, whatever it is. So not only are you hearing the bass resonance in your head of your voice, but then you're hearing this tiny little after sound afterwards. So you're hearing it internal and external. So of course that's going to change the pitch.
Right.
And no one else on the planet hears your voice that way.
Yes. And I think everyone is freaked out by that now that we all have to be on video and podcasts and everything as business owners.
Yeah.
People are freaking out because they don't like the way it sounds.
But
we
they
just
shouldn't.
have to, I know.
You just got to get over it. I'm sorry. Like I am the last person to say rub dirt on it.
But that's it. The more you do it, though, the more comfortable you get. And how did I know you were actually going to have an answer to why that sounds so? Kudos, Professor. Thank you.
I like learning.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting because I never knew why. So thank you for the education.
So on that note, like of learning and things like that, I love the aspect of social proof.
Okay.
I love social proof so much once it's broken down because
Okay, but for those of us who don't know what social
Yes.
proof is technically, I know what it is, but like break it down.
and here's the beauty is everyone knows what it is.
Okay.
And everyone has fallen for
But
it.
we just don't know what it was called.
But you don't know what it was called.
Okay.
So social proof, and here's the exact terminology for it, taps into the idea that people tend to follow the actions and behaviors of others, especially in uncertain situations. Displaying testimonies, reviews, ratings, or showcasing a number of satisfied customers can enhance credibility and influence the potential of customers positively.
So that's why I think smart, successful website builders always put like the reviews on page 1.
Right.
You know, they're
It's called
like,
above the fold.
there you go. Because seeing not only what they sell, but satisfied clients who
Right.
reviewed it. I mean,
Well, like that's why Amazon, you go to Amazon site, you'll see the name of the thing, and literally right underneath that or right to the side, it has the rating.
I click on the reviews before I read the item description.
Right. Social proof.
Yeah. An example of social proof that I heard about recently is, and this is not, a lot of social proof is not done consciously. Some of it is, but a company looked at people who bought a certain truck. In this case, it was Ford, and all they did was follow this guy and what he did with his truck. And he parked his truck on the street because his garage was full or didn't have one. I don't know.
Welcome to suburban life.
Right. But what they found interesting is just by watching this one guy and keeping track of what the neighborhood started purchasing. This went on for years, okay? So the fact that the new neighborhood, their very first new truck in the new neighborhood was a Ford, it somehow influenced the people who drove by the neighborhood and saw this beautiful Ford parked on the street. And you know, all the Ford trucks have like the big Ford letters.
Yep.
More people were influenced to purchase Ford trucks than any other car just for the mere fact that the guy at the end of the street that they had to drive by all the time
Every day.
and saw the truck and
Yep.
it was new and shiny, more people started buying Fords. That's crazy to me. And I'm sure 100% if you were to go to the neighbors and be like, oh, you bought a Ford truck because you thought they would deny it.
Of course.
It's a very subtle, psychological influence,
Yes.
that, hey, Ford must be good because my neighbor has it. And then guess what? The next neighbor, now you have twice. And then, of course, that influences twice as much because
Yep.
and suddenly, like, Ford must be it because everybody has it.
I mean, name a couple TV brands.
TV brands
Yeah.
like CNN?
No, like TV, like television sets.
Oh, Toshiba.
Okay.
Zenith. Is that even a
Zenith?
thing? I don't. We actually have a Zenith at home still.
Okay,
That's why.
I'm going to stop this example
Okay,
right
no.
here because that actually proves my point perfectly.
What?
I was hoping you'd say like LG, Samsung, the bigger name companies, right?
I don't know why. I
You
just
named
thought-
Zenith.
Where the
Zenith is one of the for those kids out there.
Oh my God, I'm
Zenith
so
is
old.
one of the best TV brands pre 1990s, pre 2000s. Okay, like when they built a TV, they never went bad. They were amazing products.
Maybe that's why we still have Zenith stuff
That's
around
why
the
you
house.
still have them. They're still tube TVs, you know.
I don't have a tube TV, by the way. I'm not that fucking old.
But it's just Zeniths were really good quality, and then because of that, everyone knew Zenith was good quality.
Right.
How many other TVs brands were on the market at that time period in the 60s, 70s?
I don't know. I wasn't
A
around.
lot.
Okay.
But there's a reason Sony still exists. There's a reason Zenith still exists. Is it the quality? Maybe. But more so the fact you went to someone else's house, they had a Zenith, and you go, man, that looks awesome. I want that.
Good point.
And that was before reviews. That was before testimonials.
You know what? Oh my God. I guess this is also an example of social proof. When we first moved into our townhouse, we bought a fancy washer dryer.
Okay.
I think it was LG or something. And it had all the ding dongs and the bells and the
Did
whistles.
it play the music?
It played the music.
It's so
yes.
weird, but I love it.
I love it too. So we bought all that. It died in 5 years, both the washer and the dryer.
5 years?
5 years. Which is it was Maytag. Maytag.
Oh.
We're like, Maytag, remember the Maytag repairman that
Yeah.
just sits around because he's so bored? I'm like, that was in
A great commercial, by the
yes.
way.
So that was great. So that totally influenced me to buy the new Maytags because why not? They all died within 5 years. So guess what I did? I started Googling, couldn't find anything. It was all over the place. I called the guy who cleans my dryer vent, like the whole tube and everything.
Yeah.
I called him and I said, what do you recommend? Because he repairs dryers for a living.
Yup.
And he said, get brand X, but get it without all the bells and the whistles, you know? So that's kind of social proof, right? Like,
That's extreme social proof. Yeah,
So
because you're looking at the person who does this for a living.
Yep. and
but-
he said, this is what he has in his house.
Yeah, I mean, that's more like authority.
I guess, yeah.
Authority would be like, I know what I'm talking about. Take my word.
And
word
I
for
guess
it.
I had to go to somebody that has actual authority because the reviews were so all over the place. And so, I was overwhelmed with all the brands. So I didn't know what to choose. So I went based on that.
That's really it. That's a good story for authority. For those of you who don't know what authority is if you are proving to be knowledgeable on a subject more so than other people, people will look to you for everything.
Yeah.
For that type. For example, when a microphone, a personal example, when a microphone came out 2 years ago called the Rode Wireless Go 2, I bought it, and before even like really trying it, I wanted to test it. And I wanted to test it with doing videos. So I did like 8 or 9 videos back to back in a matter of like 2 weeks. And there was a short time period that if you looked up Rode Wireless Go 2 on Google, my videos would pop
Wow.
up after the brand's website.
Dude.
And I was like, oh, I can be an ambassador. No,
awesome.
I never got to be an ambassador. But still to this day, my videos are doing okay. And I'll get questions like programming questions for the inside of the microphone.
Yeah.
And I don't know that stuff. I tested distance and quality and
Yeah.
other stuff. And
Yeah.
But
But
I-
I mean, like you're an authority on
But
editing and filmmaking and stuff like that. So if I ever have a question about, how this scene was lit, I always come to you
Yeah,
because
right,
I know
right.
that. Yeah. And like what's funny is like my clients ask me for camera recommendations because I'm a photographer.
I get that all the time.
And I'm like, well, this is what I use, but I'm like, these are professional grade cameras.
Yes.
Like, so I try to help them, but like oftentimes I steer them wrong because they don't have a $5,000 budget for a camera. So
Right.
I feel bad
And-
about that.
And that's that's such a big thing. Because I have friends asking me all the time, it's like, well, give me a laptop recommendation because I know computers.
Right.
Oh, give me a camera recommendation. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, first and foremost, what are you using it
Yes,
for?
budget.
Because what I know is not going to help you. If you're in the market for a $300 to $400 laptop, I know nothing
Yeah. Yep.
what goes into it. I don't know. Because anything that I know will not be in those.
Yep. Yeah,
Same with cameras. They're like, oh, we want to spend like $300. I'm like, I can't help you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wish I could, but I
Yeah.
can't.
Remember, I came to you like when I was looking
Yep.
for a new laptop. You're like, how much you want to spend? No, you're never going to get a good laptop with that kind of money.
I mean,
So-
you can get a decent laptop.
Yeah, but not with all the
do you
programs
want
I'm
it
running.
to run right?
Yeah.
I mean, even my computer upstairs, which I spent way too much building, but it still has flaws.
Really?
I have okay, this is going to sound like bragging, but it's really not. I have the top of the line graphics card for my budget in my computer.
Got it.
Okay. I love my graphics card. It plays everything I throw at it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I still get the blue screen of death
Mm.
because it can't, the rest of my computer can't keep up with it.
Oh, okay.
So yay.
Sorry.
So, I mean, again, that's just a side dumb story, but
Yeah.
being an authority on a subject makes you an authority on that subject.
Yeah.
But sometimes whittled down to smaller aspects,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really help much. Like, tell me your favorite kind of muscle car. Oh, I'm gonna tell you 12,000 ways about why this car is better than every other car. Cool, I can't afford that. Then you're not the right authority.
Do you feel like most businesses who are, trying to do their social media,
Yeah.
everything, do you think that all of them should have some sort of authority on whatever it is that they're talking about? I would assume yes.
I would assume yes, too, for two major reasons. One, every business needs to have some type of authority on what they offer,
Okay.
whether it's a service or a product. If you're a landscaping company, you should know how to handle grass. Like, why is it dying this time of year? How to bring it back? What are the best type of rocks for this, land? Blah blah blah. You should know this stuff, and then if you can, if you can prove that you know these things
By using a video to explain
I mean,
it?
that's always helpful.
Okay.
But if you can prove these aspects, then I'm going to trust other things you say. So if you come to me and say, well, you should really aerate 2 times a year, and I'm like, all right, I didn't know that. Let's do it. I'm more apt to believe you. So the more free information you give out
Yep.
there without asking for anything in return, then I'm more apt to believe in your authority over that subject.
And the new research I read too is that if your face is out there talking about, let's say, the grass, for example, by the time that consumer connects the fact that they need somebody to help them with landscaping, you already are the authority to them because they keep watching
Right.
you. And the fact that they see your face regularly will build that trust is already built.
Right.
By you putting yourself out there on social media, and that's the first person they're going to go to. They're not going to start Googling landscapers at that point.
They're gonna look for
They're
you.
going to look for you specifically.
And what you just said is very important. You can't just make one video and be done. That's
They have to see you
how
all
this,
the time.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
Is so many people like throw $100,000 at a project and say, make us a viral video. It's like, well, you need to keep doing
Yeah.
it. And it's a long game.
Yeah.
Social media and marketing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if you're sprinting, your brand or your service is going to burn
Yep.
out.
And it's a never-ending marathon. So
a never-ending
You
marathon.
have to take your little pit
Which isn't a bad
stops.
thing.
It's not. No.
Kind of like with running, you get a runner's high after a while. Opposed to what I look like now, I used to run like crazy. And after you get a long way into it, you get this feeling of like everything's clear, everything's happy. It's like these endorphins kick in and you're feeling good running. That's what happens with business. There'll be
You'll hit your
long
stride, yeah.
stretches of I don't think I know what I'm doing. I
Yep.
feel like I'm failing.
Yep. But you
This-
don't see the immediate results. It's like
You
what
won't.
you put out there
Yep.
6 months ago might not be coming back to you for like another year or so. Who knows? But then suddenly, and what's funny is
Yes.
that the consumer won't put that 2 and 2 together.
No, they won't.
They won't show up and be like, hey, I've been watching your YouTube videos for 6 months and that's why I'm here to hire you. They
Correct,
don't.
correct.
They just, send you a text or an email and going like, hey, come out, give me an estimate. You don't know how that actually influenced
Right.
them. Yeah.
But it will.
It will.
And you're right. And you putting your face to your product, I think, is one of the most important things and something that we tell all of our clients about is you need to be the face if you have that kind of a business.
Yes.
if you have a personality-based business,
Yes.
you have to put a face to it.
And most small businesses are personality-based
Yes, they
businesses.
are.
Let's be honest. I don't care what you're selling.
You could sell books.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No.
People aren't there for the books. I can go on Amazon for the books.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want the experience.
Funny. Remember, Nathan came over today. I think you were you there when he was talking about the books?
Yeah, the bookstore.
He found the new used bookstore, and he was
Chicago.
talking about which is usually expensive. And he was talking about how the owner went on Amazon, Googled the book, and gave him the lowest price that
He finds
Amazon
all the
had
prices
to offer.
of the books. Like I think he said he went on eBay.
eBay. Yes.
He looks at like the lowest price, and then that's the price for the book.
That's
in
unbelievable.
person.
And what did he do? The first thing he did was tell us about it.
Well, and he bought a bunch of books.
Yes.
And he told us about it.
And now I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
asking him
yeah.
where this is, so I'm about to go and, look this guy up just because, our coworker / friend had a good experience.
Yep.
He didn't feel like he got ripped off. He's a student on a budget, so he
Yes.
feels like he got a good deal.
Yes.
I want to support the business who supports my friend,
Concurred,
who can.
concurred.
So, there you go. Social proof marketing all in one.
And authority.
Dang, it's a triple whammy.
All right. So the one thing you have to remember about all these strategies and theories and psychologies is you don't just put one of these out there to use. There are tons
Yes.
and tons and tons and tons of these marketing psychologies. And the more we make these videos, the more we're going to talk about it. But you use them all the time.
Yep.
Even in sprinkles here and there, but there's a reason you go to a company like us and say, do my video for me, or do my photos
Yeah.
for me, do my social media.
Like, what were you doing this weekend while you were apple picking? You were talking to them.
Every single person I met, every business, every bar, every restaurant, I pitched the pitch session to, and I was like, I love your establishment. I would love to do a show for you. It's free marketing. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you check out the pitch session. It's an awesome show.
Just give us a little update on, maybe we get a nice sound bite from what the pitch session
Wouldn't
is.
that be
exactly.
nice?
I know, because we just keep talking about it, but like we can't put it into one freaking sentence.
Maybe we should market it better. Be an authority on the subject.
I'm going to get up and...
You know what? I will show some social proof, though.
Ooh.
We did an episode for one of the companies. We had a meeting with that company, and then we booked them, and we're making their videos and photos.
Yep.
Not all of them, because they know they need to keep making more.
Yes.
But we're making the highly polished stuff that they can sprinkle throughout.
So right from the minute one, we went to that meeting and we said, you should be doing X. And,
Right.
and they watched the video and we
Right.
said, you should be out there. You should have your face out on social media. The next day, she started doing it. So not only did she hire us, she followed
Yes.
all the advice we gave her, all the free advice, all the value that we put out there. And so that's why she's going to thrive. Yes, the video and the photos we're giving her is
Right.
the icing on the cake. That's going to be...
But it's icing.
It's icing. She still has to buy the flour and do the kneading herself.
Right.
She has to do the work.
And-
the icing will make it look pretty, but if you don't have the base for that icing,
Yes.
forget it. The cake's going to collapse.
You absolutely, God, you nailed it right on the head. I would love to say it's like, oh, look at us. We got a job, but that's not it.
No, it's
What
not.
What makes me happy?
Even the happiest I was through the whole interaction we had with that client was the initial meeting after she didn't even book us. We just talked to
Yes,
her. And when I
100%.
left, I'm like, she gets it.
Yep.
Like, I'm
Yep.
like, she's passionate and I want to help her. And even if
We
she
wanted to help
doesn't
her
hire,
business.
like, I would still be like helping her
We
in
would
every
still
way
be
I
giving her
possibly
tips and
because
stuff, yeah.
I love her and I love that she wants to learn and I love that she wants to grow and I
Yes.
love that she's doing all the right things to help her get there. So that kind of passion is so hard to find, but I want to support that.
It made me so happy to give the suggestions. This feels kind of selfish, but it's absolutely not. It's coming from a good place. Is that we gave the suggestions. She immediately made those changes. And
Immediately, like
I'm seeing
days.
after watching her views and stuff, she's getting a lot of views. I'm
Yep.
not saying that's our thing. That's because of us. But I'm saying it's like, it's so cool to see someone be like, okay, I'm going to start taking this seriously. I'm going to start thinking about what I put into my social media content.
Not just some random
Not just
stuff.
putting it out there. Not just throwing, here's a photo, here's a photo of my dog, put it up there.
Yeah.
You post with reason.
Yeah.
And I've said that for years is you never
Yeah.
take a shot, you never edit, you never post, you never say a single word without a reason behind it.
Purpose and reason.
A purpose. Thank you.
Think. Yeah, I think purpose is, because all businesses have a purpose. And I think, and boy, is she on the ball. I'm just so thrilled.
I'm so excited. And like, I cannot tell you how excited I am to start editing that together. We got so much content. We're getting more. I am drooling looking at some of the photos that you've taken. Oh my God, you took some amazing
super
stuff.
Thrilled. Yeah.
So let's wrap this up because you got places to be, things to do, stuff to market.
Social proof, don't forget.
So what should people take away from today?
Being in front of the camera is not easy, but do it anyway because there's no more avoiding it. Video is here to stay. Suck it up. Learn to love it. It's part of business now.
Reciprocity is an amazing tool that you can use in all your marketing, but don't expect results. Don't expect something to come back to you. Be a good person. Don't be a dick. Give value to the world, whether it be through your products, services, or information, but provide value in someone's life.
It's not an overnight, one magic video thing. It's very hard to, get viral. And even if you do, it doesn't mean that it's going to funnel back into your business. It just means you have a viral video. So just keep doing it. Even if you don't see the results right away, do it every day. Do it once a week, whatever your system is, just keep doing it. And if you absolutely hate it and you don't know what to do, ask people for help. Go on YouTube. Freaking help yourself. Don't just be like, well, nothing's coming to me. What are you doing? Take the freaking steps. Do some work. Get off your ass and work, and you will see results.
I love it.
I'm basically talking to myself.
Well,
now.
and that's the last thing I'm going to talk about here.
Yep.
Is everything we're talking about, we're hoping it helps someone, but we're also doing this for us.
Yeah.
We're trying to be better in everything we do. So we're trying to learn and push each other.
Yep.
And the reason we're saying this with such conviction is that we want to do this ourselves, and we're pushing and trying to be better every day. So today we're going to do something awesome with this show and with what the video we're going to do next here. But thank you guys for sticking around.
Thank you for watching Coffee and Cameras, and don't forget to have a good day.
That was nice.
They thought I was gonna say like and subscribe.
They thought that.
Yeah.
They totally thought that, didn't
But we
they?
never say that.
But we don't need to because we're not asking for it.
We're hoping.
Well, I mean, there's other.
Yeah, no. But we will never say those words here because that's annoying.
It is annoying.
No.
I'm kidding.